I have to tell you, I didn't think this, and I didn't feel this way. Do you have the Chris Matthews? I think you have to give him credit for having the guts to really reveal himself and say what he's been apparently thinking for a very long time.
He is post-racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour. He's going to...
So dumb.
No, it's not. It's beyond. It is racist.
It is
racist.
Yeah,
I don't know of a thing that I have heard that somebody said on TV that is truly racist. I always see, okay, well, they're going to say it's racist. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. But that one is. Now, I don't think that means you're taking him off TV. You just know who he is. That one's racist. Come on.
I know.
You forgot he was black for an hour.
There's really not a lot of ways to take that.
There's no way. Give another way.
Well, I think what he was trying to say.
No. Let's not read into his.
Well, I think you have to read into it. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Give me a context where that works.
He's talking about he's just colorblind. We don't even see his race because the speech was so great it transcended race. I'm not saying
that's the same as I forget he's black for an hour.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he would have said he transcends race. I mean, that was just
okay.
Right, but Chris Matthews says a lot of things poorly, which is why no one watches.
No, try this on for size. Boy, this surgeon that was doing the surgery on me, he was just so unbelievable. I forgot that he was black for an hour.
That just means he's such a good surgeon, he transcends racial barriers.
It's a fantastic point.
I mean, help me out. Give me any scenario where that works.
I just don't.
My preacher, he was preaching the gospel the other day. And he stood up there in front of the congregation, and he was so amazing, I forgot that he was black for an hour. Help me out.
This is fantastic. Do more of them. I want more.
I can do anything. So I went into my pharmacy, and I had to pick up my prescription drugs. And I'm talking to this pharmacist behind the counter. He's such a nice guy. I forgot that he was black for an hour.
That's a good one.
My son, he brings over a friend. He goes to school with his friend. Just the cutest kid and so smart and so sweet. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him. I'm reading the two of them, because he had a slumber party. I'm reading the two of them. And I look at his friend and I forgot that his friend was black for an hour. Help me out. How else do you read that?
You make an excellent case.
Oh, my gosh. I was doing an interview yesterday. And we have this new IT guy that's interviewing, and he was so smart, and he's from IBM. And I thought, I forgot that he was black during the interview.
And it's the thing is, you have to say, he did such a good job during the interview, I forgot he was black. Because that's really the...
That shows your racial bias.
I really did. Honestly, I did do an interview yesterday with an African-American who wants to be an IT guy here. He's worked for IBM and everything else, and he came in, I looked at his resume, I said, you are wildly overqualified for this job. You realize that? And he was like, well, I keep hearing that. And I'm like, no. Here's the IT job. My screen doesn't work. I've plugged it in and plugged it out again. Okay. Can you imagine if I had a conversation with him and then ended it with, wow, by the way, you're amazing. I forgot you were black. What is that?
Wow. Yeah, you're making an excellent case here. I always just feel like I hate to we make dumb comments all the time that are taken out of context or just taken as serious when we didn't mean them that way.
This is not a dumb comment. This is a window into the way he thinks. Now, this doesn't mean that you take him off. This doesn't mean that you say he's a racist. I think this is a racist comment on this.
Sure.
He views everything with the lens of race in the glasses. He has to, at least with Barack Obama. He must. Yeah. Because what he's saying is, for an hour, I forgot about race. Well, that means the rest of the time, The other 23 hours when you were thinking about Barack Obama yesterday, you thought about race. I don't. I don't think of race with him. Occasionally, I will think of race. And only, here's how I go with race with Barack Obama, is once in a while he'll get into a cadence where he sounds like a preacher. And so he gets into that preacher cadence. And the only reason why I think of race on that is because of the preacher cadence makes me think of Reverend Jeremiah Wright, and there's no mistaking. Well, I mean, I guess he could be a white guy that just hates all white guys. But that's the only time I think of race with Barack Obama.
The only time I ever think about it is when people like Chris Matthews blame us for not liking him because of race.
Well, okay, you can add that as well.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, but it is an odd comment. I mean, you like to give people the benefit of the doubt that they just said it poorly, or like what he was trying to say was not that, and he said it in an awful way. But when you bring it up in the other context that you just brought it up in, you realize that if a conservative said something like that,
hang on,
it
said
would have
what?
been.
Play it again, please, just in case you just joined us.
Racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour.
Can you just do
Play
one
it
more? Do you
again,
have another
please.
scenario you can do?
Play it again.
He is post-racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour.
I'm
he's
having
going-
this. I'm having this interview with these astronauts, and this guy is up in the space shuttle, and he's so smart, and he's talking about all the scientist, the scientific experiments they're doing, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, for an hour during this conversation, I forgot he was black.
It is when you really take it out of this bizarre world.
I brought
where
my car in to have the oil changed, and I'm talking to this guy, and he's a really nice guy, and we're just talking about cars, and we end up talking about the ball game and everything else. For an hour there, I forgot he was black.
I mean, God, you
There's
never get away
no
with it in any other
scenario that
context.
worked. My garbage man, he was coming out in the garbage, and I'm bringing my trash out early in the morning. I'm like, hey, Pete, how are you? And he's like, good, Mr. Beck, how are you? And I'm like, good. And we're just talking about stuff. And for a while there, I forgot he was black.
Imagine go to like the presidential context of like President Bush saying, hey, we're in the middle of the Iraq War, and Colin Powell comes into my office, or Condoleezza Rice comes into my office, and they are just so smart. They understand this war. They're such great managers of these situations, and I just forget they're black sometimes. I mean, can you imagine if he said that? It would be the front page story on every paper for a year.
As it should be. I cannot make this work unless you're like, I just didn't think black people could do this.
Yeah, I mean, it did.
Name another way.
The only way is he just flubbed the comment, and he said it very
Listen
poorly.
to it again.
He said it very poorly.
Listen to
I
it
was
again.
trying to think about who he was tonight, and it's interesting. He is post-racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight.
No. I forgot about black tonight. No, that's not the whole comment. If he even would have ended it there, it would have been a little better. Go back.
Can you play a little bit
Play
more?
a little bit more, please.
He is post-racial, by all appearances. I forgot he was black tonight for an hour. He's going to...
I forgot he was black tonight.
Well,
That's
for an
not
hour.
Even, that's not even as bad as I mean, it's still bad, but I forgot that he was black tonight for about an hour.
If nothing else, we
There's
can
just
just
no way.
admire the idiocy. I mean, if we could just sit back for a moment and just admire what a stupid thing that is to say on television.
As if the thrill comment, the thrill up his leg thing wasn't bad enough. I mean, this thing
outdoes himself.
way worse.
Every major speech, Chris Matthews outdoes himself with a
Yeah.
stupid comment.
Yeah.
It's magnificent.